The suicide pilot who flew a small plane into an Austin, Texas office building apparently left behind a multi-page manifesto ranting about his troubles with the government and the Internal Revenue Service, complaining that "I have just had enough." The pilot, identified by authorities as Joseph Andrew Stack, a software engineer who lived in a North Austin neighborhood, raged about U.S. tax policies, the healthcare system, and even has business failings and tax problems in Los Angeles in the late 1980s and early 1990s. "I am finally ready to stop this insanity," Stack wrote in a posting at a website called www.embeddedart.com. "Well, Mr. Big Brother IRS man, let's try something different. Take my pound of flesh and sleep well." According to federal law enforcement authorities in Washington, Stack started a fire at his home, then flew the small Piper aircraft into the Echelon 1 building in Northwest Austin, which houses a large IRS contingent. Next door was another building, where the FBI maintains an office. Stack wrote that he began the blog many months ago, triggered by his realization that there isn't enough therapy in the world that can fix what is really broken. He called his missive rant and said desperate times call for disparate measures. He went on to complain, in occasionally foul language, about a handful of thugs and plunderers, and mentioned auto executives, the American medical system, and drug and insurance companies. Although much of what he said was difficult to follow and incoherent, he talked about losing more than $40,000 over 10 years, which set my retirement plans back to zero. He went to engineering school, apparently in Harrisburg, where I was living on peanut butter and bread or Ritz crackers, when I could afford to splurge. He said he once considered supplementing his diet with cat food. But his main beef came in the late 1980s and early 1990s. He said he spent $5,000 of my pocket change, and at least 1,000 hours of my time complaining to Washington and state officials. "I spent countless hours on the LA freeways driving to meetings," he wrote, though he was unclear what he meant. Finally, he said, "It was by to California. I'll try Austin for a while." But he said he could not make it in Texas either, and to survive, I was forced to cannibalize my savings and retirement, the last of which was a small IRA retirement account. "So we come to the present," he wrote. "In a government full of hypocrites from top to bottom, life is as cheap as their lies and their self-serving laws." He added, "I have had all I can stand." Update: the pilot of the small Cirrus SR-22 single-engine plane has been confirmed dead. After a fight with his wife Thursday morning, local police responded to a domestic disturbance at his house. This is believed to be the start of the sequence leading up to the plane being crashed into the building. The man investigators believe crashed a plane into an Austin building Thursday morning has been identified as 53-year-old software engineer Joseph Andrew Stack. It is believed shortly before crashing a plane into an Austin building, where several IRS offices were housed, he wrote a diary entry detailing his tax problems. CNN is reporting that Stack intentionally crashed a small, single-engine airplane into an Austin building Thursday morning. Initial reports suggested he had stolen the plane, however that no longer appears to be the case. The FAA said the plane departed from Georgetown Municipal Airport, north of Austin, about 9:40 am. Stack did not file a flight plan. Flights in and out of Austin are expected to continue as normal, but airport directors recommend passengers call their airline before heading in or out of Austin. The small, private, single-engine airplane was intentionally flown full speed into an Austin building. Stack was reported to have crashed into the building after setting fire to his own house. NORAD spokesperson John Cornelio stated 2 F-16 fighter jets were launched as a precaution after the crash, though the act does not appear to be terrorist-related. The FBI is investigating whether the IRS offices located in the building were the target, and are investigating this as a willful act. The IRS says 190 employees were in the building, and the agency is attempting to account for its workers. FBI spokesperson Eric Voss has confirmed that a small FBI field office was also located in the complex, but not in the building that was hit. Several witnesses have seen a plane crash into a building near Highway 183 and Loop 360 in Austin. The plane crashed into the Echelon building at the 9400 block of Research Boulevard around 10 a.m. Witnesses report feeling a tremble, seeing smoke, and seeing the plane hitting the side of the building. Authorities are investigating the crash into a 7-story office building in northwest Austin, near the Arboretum. Black smoke was coming from the building Thursday morning. The building is located on a major highway in the city. "There's heavy destruction on the second floor," Austin Assistant Fire Chief Harry Evans said, adding there was lots of smoke, lots of heat, lots of fire. Concerning deaths, Evans said, "We have none reported at this point." He said, 2 people were taken to a hospital, the building was evacuated, and 1 person was unaccounted for.